Okay, here's another question. So this is building on the if-else structure that we looked at in the last video. So what you need to do is write a program that asks the user a question and asks them to select the answer from a range of answers. So it'll look something like this. I've done a very simple question. In which town is Aquinas College? Is it in 1. Manchester, 2. Stockport, 3. Cheadle, or 4. Buxton? If the user selects the correct answer, then well done is displayed. If the user chooses Manchester, then you say too far north. If the user chooses Cheadle, then close but not correct. And if you choose Buxton, it says not even close. You can do this as a series of if statements if you want. It is possible, and if you're struggling with the if-else, it's good to get something that works, although you might not be able to get it to work quite as it should do by using the if, but I'll explain that when we look at an answer. Or by using the best answer, we'll be using an if-else structure, or in fact an if-else-if, an if-else-if rather structure. So have a go, pause the video, have a go, and then I'll go through an answer. Okay, let's look at an answer. Let me just get rid of, here's an answer I prepared earlier. So here is my version of this program. I've used if, else if. But first of all, I've created a variable called user choice. It's going to store an integer. So I've kept it easy, kept it simple. They're going to type in a 1, 2, 3 or 4. I do my title just to make it nice and user friendly. The user can see what the program's about, and then I ask my question and display the answers. So in which town is Aquinas College? And we have the answers listed. I then say to the user, what's your answer? And I get the answer from the user. Now what I haven't done here, and hopefully you have done, is change the answer to an integer. Remember we talked about cint, it converts, so the console.readline tries to pass back characters, string, and I change it to an integer for the user choice because I want it to be a number. And I then say, well, if what they typed in was a 1, then display too far north. Else, if the choice was 2, well done. Else, if the choice was 3, close but not correct. Else, if the choice was 4, not even close. So we're going to run this and check whether it works. So, in which town? Let's try 1. Manchester, too far north. So I know that it fails if it's incorrect. My computer seems to have slowed down. Well done for number 2. Great. If it's, yep, let's try 3. Should say close but not correct. And 4, Buxton, not even close. So there's an answer to that question. Now what you might have done, and what is possible, is to do it as a series of ifs. So I'm just going to not do that. I'm going to copy this and just change it to a series of ifs. Now I'll probably get some errors, that's fine. Bear with me, because what I need to do is end that if, just like you have brackets in a maths equation, and when you open a bracket you need to close a bracket. If you open an if, you need to close an if. So let me stick that, a series of ifs. Now if I run this, if I comment that out, so it's not running, and then I run it, I should find it still works. And it will do. And if this is how you've done it, you've got a working answer. That's good, very good. What I want to do is try to explain why this else if is a slightly better way of programming this. Our computer programs, particularly the kind of programs we're doing, work using sequence. The idea of sequence in programming is that the first instruction is executed first. So we've got the start of the program, which is the submain, that just signals the start of this program. We've got a bunch of comments. The computer ignores comments because they're for us, and it does the first line. Then it does the second line. Then it does the third line, and then it does the fourth line, and so on. And this is the idea of sequence. It does one line at a time. So if we look at this set of ifs and try to understand what the computer will do. So we've got the user has typed in their answer, 1, 2, 3 or 4, whichever it was. Let's say they typed in 2. They knew where Aquinas College is, so they typed in 2. Let's say that. So what will the computer do? The computer will say, is user choice equal to 1? Is it equal to 1? No, it's not. So it will go to the end if, and then it will start the next line. If user choice equals 2, yes, it is equal to 2. Okay, in that case it will do this, followed by the end if. Then it will still ask, is user choice equal to 3? Computers aren't sensible, they're not intelligent. It will just go through this in sequence. So even though we've had the right answer already, the computer isn't intelligent enough to work that out. So it's just going to continue going through this step by step. It says is user choice equal to 3? No, it's equal to 2, so it's not equal to 3. So it will skip and go to end if. Then it will do user choice 4. Is user choice equal to 4? No, it's not. It's equal to 2. So it will go to the end if, and then it will finish. So the important thing about this is every single question is asked. Even after we've got to the first one, the user might have typed in a number 1, and so the first if that we come to sorts out our problem, solves it and prints out too far north. But even though it's done that, it still asks this question and this question and this question. When we've got small programs like we have here, that's not really an issue and it's not going to slow down. But if we look at the other example, my first example using the if-else, hopefully we'll see why this is better. Whoops. So in this case, let's say the user entered number 2. So it's the user has entered it, and the user choice has number 2. It will say, is the choice equal to 1? No, it's not equal to 1. It was 2. So it will then say else. If user choice is equal to 2, yes. And it will do the well done. And at that point, it won't ask any more questions. So in the else if, once it's found the right answer, it ignores the rest. It jumps, so this will, after it's got this, it will execute that line and then it will jump straight to the end if. That means it's not asking this question and it's not asking this question. So it's a quicker way of programming it. The program will execute more quickly because it's doing less. That's it. That's all the difference is. For small programs, you wouldn't see any difference. For large programs, for programs that are being produced commercially, then you would want this, which is a more efficient use of your time, of the program's time, rather than this. But at this stage, if you got either answer, that's good, and you should be pleased with yourself. I'm going to get rid of that, because I don't want you to copy that. I'd much prefer you to copy this if you're going to copy anything. So there's an example of an else if that you can have a go at. Make sure you've got working.